Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode here of the Weekly Poker Showdown, brought to you by Partypoker. I am your host, Jaime Staples, and we are back for Season 2. So happy to see all of you. I am in a new location, as you can see. I have moved to Canada. I am in Montreal, Canada right now. I'm from Canada originally, from Alberta, a little bit away from my family here, but loving being in Canada, being back home, and excited to start up with another season of the podcast. Joining me today on the podcast, I have Benjamin Pollak, who is a Party Poker pro, legendary poker pro, second on France's all-time money list. He has final tabled the World Series of Poker. He's won 5 EPT tournaments in his career. He has, I think, 13 million-ish in cashes, a lot of million in cashes. So an incredibly successful guy. I had an amazing conversation with him. I just loved hearing about his poker story. It twists and turns and like all of the right places. It's amazing. I don't know. It's awesome. So I think you guys are going to really like that conversation. But before we get to that, let's talk about some of the online poker news from this past week. Let's start off with a little party poker news, and I'm very excited to announce to you all that the Irish Poker Open is once again returning to Party Poker in March of 2021. That is coming off the success of last year's results, and of course this is happening online to ensure the safety of the staff and all the players in the event due to the ongoing pandemic. The series is going to begin on Monday, March 29th, 2021. The main event comes with a minimum 1 million guarantee prize pool and will remain a multi-day tournament. In 2020, the series had 5.6 million paid out to players, and Brazil's Pablo Brito Silva claimed the title of the main event champion, topping a field of 2,945 players to win a top prize of €462,100. The Irish Poker Open and Party Poker are currently looking into the potential alternative dates to host the regular live version of the schedule. So industry news now, Damian Salas wins the international WSOP main event online for more than 1.5 million. Salas defeated Joseph Hubert, heads up to win a top prize of 1.5 million. Salas was the victor in the international leg on GG Poker, while Hubert was the champion in the domestic version on WSOP.com. Hubert won 1.5 million off the back of a $300 satellite. That is amazing. The international main event was originally scheduled to finish on Wednesday, December 30th, but was pushed back to Sunday, January 3rd, as Salas' entry to the U.S. was delayed due to the COVID-19 restrictions. The total prize pool was $6.4 million after 674 players entered. This was the second WSOP main event to be held online after the first series ran from July to September, where the main event paid out a guarantee of $25 million. I thought the whole thing was really kind of weird, personally. The two main events, I mean, I feel for the guy that, Stoya, that won it in summer, because I thought that was like the main event. I thought that was the main one. But that doesn't take away anything at all from the later version and the champion of that tournament, because, you know, it's not the player's fault and it's poker at the end of the day. So congratulations to both players, and hopefully things move forward more smoothly in the world and we'll see a more regular World Series of Poker in 2021. Let's hope. For some more news now, Chris Moneymaker has parted ways with PokerStars after 17-year relationship. This is a close one to me. I was actually sponsored by PokerStars before I started with Party Poker a couple of years ago. So I worked alongside Chris. I would see him at a bunch of the EPT stops I went to in the Bahamas and all over the world, in the Czech Republic. I mean, a bunch of different places. And I can say my time working with him, he is just such an amazing guy. You know, he is the everyman poker player. I'm an incredibly successful poker player, but he would make time for everyone. Anyone could come up to him and chat with him, and he could communicate on their level, and just a genuinely kind and amazing person. And as an ambassador for the game, I mean, what he did with his Moneymaker tour in the U.S., traveling to a bunch of different stops, speaking with people, I mean, he is just a perfect ambassador for the game of poker. So, I was sad to see him depart, but I'm sure there's a bright and amazing future for Chris Moneymaker going forward. Whenever he is interested in being part of poker, I know that poker will have him. They would be crazy not to. So all the best to Chris Moneymaker moving forward. And I think he did some really amazing work over at PokerStars over the years. Did a lot to help them out and to help the game of poker in general. So big shout out to Chris Moneymaker for really being such an instrumental part of what this whole game of poker is about, inspiring me, inspiring my generation, inspiring most of us that play this game for a living to give it a go. So big shout out to him. and all the best going forward, Chris. Moving on now to the Roll of Honor, and the KO series is going on Party Poker right now. I have made a final table of a side event, but I don't have a title myself. I'm out there battling every day except for Wednesday to record this podcast, and that's basically it, dude. I'm battling, and I'm ready to see you all in the streets, but let's talk about some of the people that have been more fortunate than myself. First of all, No Name 69, what a meme, won the high roller for a total top prize of over $34,000. Congratulations to you, No Name 69. Kelsey 2706 was the winner of the 6max event for a total prize of more than $10,000. And the $11 buy-in 8max event was won by Bridget_Jones for just short of $2,700. The series began on Christmas Day and runs to Tuesday, January 19th. The main event beginning on Saturday, January 16th. Be in there. I'm ready. Continuing on with some of the online poker news, the winners from the blowout series over on PokerStars were decided with Pila banking over $381,000 by winning the $109 No Limit Hold'em Big Blowout event. And to finalize the news for today, big congratulations to Huckleberry Seed, inducted into the Poker Hall of Fame. 30 of the 31 living members put in a vote where you're able to vote 10 per person, and he was the winner this year, so he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. A very worthy winner, and congratulations to Huckleberry Seed for making it in. That's going to be it for the online poker news this week, so let's get into the interview with Benjamin Pollak. It was amazing to speak with him. I think you guys will agree with me. I mean, his story is so poetic. You know, it almost is so French in a way. It's so romantic and interesting, and it's just the twists and the turns. I feel like it needs to be a movie. Someone out there, please make the movie. I want to see it on the big screen. But for now, you're going to have to settle for this conversation. Without further ado, Benjamin Pollak. Joining me on the podcast this week, I have Benjamin Pollak, a man that has just shy of $13 million in live cashes, number 2 on France's all-time money list, and member of Party Poker Pro. Benjamin, thanks for joining me on the podcast today.
Yeah, thanks, James, to invite me. Good to be here.
So I want to take it back to the beginning. I want to learn all about you. We haven't had the opportunity to meet before. So let's go back to your origins in poker before the World Series of Poker Final Table and the titles.
Uh-huh.
How did you find the game of poker when you're a young person? How did you decide, hey, this might be something I'm interested in pursuing? How did that all happen?
I think it was like a lot of poker players, like during the poker boom, like between 2005, 2006, around that.
Yeah.
I just played poker with friends. I saw poker on TV, like a World Poker Tour at the very first beginning. And I was, that's cool. And just a friend of mine, just like, let's try it. And I say, okay. And we just have a try. We play with like M&Ms just for fun,
right.
At the very beginning, And I just enjoyed, the fact that you spending your time with friends, we didn't win any money, it was just for the, for the environment with friends on that things, and I really enjoyed that. And I said, okay, maybe it's something for me, And so I tried to deposit online some euros, and I start to play online. And then, I started to manage winning some money at the very beginning, but I was student at this period of time. And then, I just tried to move up in stakes very slowly. And I remember the very beginning of this passion for me. It was like in 2006 when I went to Vegas. It was with my school,
right.
like 200 French of my school. We went to California in Irvine, it's like a big university over there. So when we went to California, the day we arrived in California to go to Irvine with some friends, we just picked a van and went straight to Las Vegas, like for 2 days. And it was my first experience of Vegas. I was student, like with $200 in my pocket. Right. We didn't have any hotel to sleep in. We just slept in the van. We made some rounds with my friends, and we went to play poker. And then I remember I lost my $100 in poker, and I bet $100 in the blackjack. And then I won $100 in blackjack. And I went back to poker, and I lost my money in poker. I went like back and forth between poker and blackjack, and it was my first experience of Las Vegas. But I knew at that time I enjoyed the fact to play money and to play with these things, I enjoyed the adrenaline of that. And And then I just, move up a little bit with the stakes, and and I get fortune with that until the big main events in 2017. Yeah.
So was there a moment in those early days, you're loving the adrenaline. I'm very surprised, honestly, that you found your way to poker with the success of blackjack. I thought it could have been a very different story, one involved in the pits. You found your way to poker. Was there a moment where you're like, wait a second, maybe this is something that really I could do in my life? Was that a transition, or did it just smoothly sort of happen?
No, I finished my school, in engineering school, like in 2007, and I was about to start a new job, And I remember I signed the 1st December 2007 for a new job for 30,000 a year. I was happy about that. Okay, just starting the real life, And then I was like a month, the December, to do just nothing, because I was supposed to start in January. And during that period, my bankroll was like 500 euros, And a friend of mine told me, oh, there is like a tournament in Paris, 500 buy-in. No, you should play it. Come on, like, for me, 500 euros was like supposed to be a big win at poker, not a buy-in, And I was like, okay, let's do it. I have a job now. I can lose that money. It's okay. And I just start, and I just full buy in these tournaments, and I won it. I won 15,000, and it was the beginning of my bankroll. And then during that period, I started to play cash game higher and made some other final tables. And in total, I won 30,000 in that month. So exactly what I signed for a year.
Yes.
So you can imagine when I started to work, I was like, my mind was crazy,
I was going to ask if you even went to work, like if you showed up.
Yeah, of course I show up, because, my parents paid my school, so. And for me, it was like just a hobby at that time. So I started to work 3 months, and on every day, for the first 3 months, I was playing poker during all the nights. I was going to my job with that kind of highs, super tired, just enjoying playing poker. And I was not just happy with my job, And if I had to take a shot with poker, I knew it was the moment. I can't wait until 40 or 50 years,
Yes.
So I just decided to stop working, and just jump into poker fully.
So you live in Paris now, right?
Yeah, I moved back to Paris just before the lockdown. Yeah.
Okay, so what was it like, and what is it like, the poker scene in Paris? Starting to play. It's not a place I hear stories from, because I don't speak French yet. I'm working on it, so I don't understand what it's like to be a poker player in Paris. What was the scene like back then, and how has it changed, and how is it now?
It changed a lot during the past 10 years. At the very beginning, it was, for me, and for a lot of kind of smart person, easy to win at poker, because that French player are very, like to splash around and like to bluff, we like to play the game and not very walk the game. So it was very easy at that time, and that's why I built like a comfort bankroll, but in my comfort zone as well. I didn't really improve really my game. And every time I was shooting a EPT or like a big tournaments around the world, I was not really winning. I was only back to Paris and win at cash games, like live cash game in Paris. I'm thinking about Aviation Club de France, And in 2014, all the club closed down.
Okay.
So we didn't have any clubs to play, any poker room to play for like maybe 3 or 4 years. And they just went back like just before the lockdown, just opened in January last year. So not lucky, because everything went closed after that. But I'm pretty sure when everything's going to be open again, the poker scene in Paris is going to be big, because we have a lot of players here, a lot of passionate players.
I believe it.
And
You just
value.
have a lot of passion in Paris in general, so there's got to be passionate poker players.
Yeah.
That's really exciting, man. I will definitely check it out whenever when coronavirus is gone. I'm there. I want to check out this aviation club. If you'll show me around, maybe a little tour would be great.
Of course.
So how about getting good at poker, right? They sent me a little like brief telling me some of your stories, and it mentioned on there that you didn't really do like coaching in the beginning, or you didn't have like a guide. You kind of just figured things out. So I'm curious, what was that journey like? And then what would you say to the newer poker players out there today that are getting into the game? Like, do you have any advice for them to improve their own game?
Yeah, I remember that I really stepped up when I moved to London in 2012.
Okay.
It was a moment where I get out of my comfort zone. I didn't have any more my live cash game, my easy cash games to live with, you know.
Right.
So I really worked my game, and then I took a coach. First, I took my first coach was like a personal trainer. I just worked my physical condition because I wanted for my personal growth, you know, first, not really for poker. But it was the first step of my personal growth. And of course, it's going to help you with poker because it's going to help you to just have a better focus, you know, have a better, you know, just have a clear mind, and just taking better decision for all your life, you know. And it was the first step. The second step, on the big step for me, it was to take some coach, like a mental coach. And I worked with Pierre Gauthier. It's in France, it's a famous mental coach. You know, he used to work with a lot of French tennis player, like pro.
Right.
Of course, a lot of poker player now. And I worked with him for more than 5 years. I started working with him in 2013, just before my first deep run in the main event. It was in 2013. And it really helps you to understand your weaknesses because you're speaking about this, so it get out of your mouth, you know, and you're putting words on it, and it just helps you to clean your mind and really understand your goals on why you're playing poker, you know, because we all playing poker at some point. You can lose your mind because you're chasing the money or you're chasing the trophy, but is it really for that you are here, or for maybe something else, you know? And we work on that because we're spending so much time, so much effort. Sit at the table is not for the money, you know. There is something else, and I try to understand why I'm here and why I'm spending a lot of my time playing poker, and just for the thrill, you know, just for the love of the game, the love of being around players, like a different people that you don't know or even never met before, and just starting to know them by playing poker, you know, and that's the thing that's really I enjoy, you know, playing poker. Just understand people around me just through this game, you know.
Absolutely. It's got to be one of the best parts of the game, man. Like, I think to when I was a 19-year-old playing in my own casino, right? And you don't get the opportunity to talk to like a lawyer or a doctor as a 19-year-old. But me playing my 1-2 cash game, I got to talk to them. But then I also got to talk to like drug dealers that I just didn't hang out with, you know? So you have all these different eccentric, interesting personalities come together and speak a language that's the same, you know? It's a beautiful thing. It's one of the best parts of poker. I agree.
Exactly. And it's like, you know, it's like there is no social distancing between people, you know. It's like when you are in an airport, you know, there is no difference between people in the airport, like, because it's like the same things, you know. When you go like on holiday, like in I don't know if you know the Club Méditerranée.
Don't know.
It's like a famous French center of holiday, and I had this same feeling when I was super young. When I used to go there, that there is no difference between people, and you can speak to like a lawyer or speak to like a drug dealer or speak to anything, and there is no difference. We are just people on vacation. And at the poker table, they're the same. We are just poker players, and so you can meet a lot of different people, and just it's just enjoyable, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love it. I think poker deserves more credit for that because there's very few games where you can be on that equal footing. You know, it doesn't work in football, for example. It doesn't work in golf. Someone's better, you know, someone's more physically able. It's split up by genders, etc. So I agree. let's talk about the World Series of Poker main event final table, right?
Yeah.
It's the dream. I mean, it's the world's poker dream. It's not only poker players' dream. It's the world's dream for poker, and it's the showdown for what success is to the general population in this game. So you go into the final table, 2017. What are your thoughts? How are you preparing? How do you cope with like just how immense of a situation it is?
It was a pure experience, but the thing is, when I played these main events, for me it was supposed my last tournament, my last poker tournament. Because, yeah, I know it sounds fun.
This is poetic. It's too poetic. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you why. Because I was like in a very big downswing just before that, in 2016, for many reasons. And maybe I was down maybe 75% of my bankroll, starting the year of 2017. And I was like, okay, I can't continue like that, because if I continue like that, I'm going to live like for 4 more months only,
Yep.
And I was supposed to just I wanted to stop and maybe like invest my last money in real estate and something like that. But just before that, I signed another year with my other sponsorship, and I said, okay, so I'm going to play for 1 more year again. So if you do that, do it properly, because the year of 2016 I just played without envy or without motivation, really. It's very weird, because in 2015 I played a lot and I was super focused, and I used to work with my mental coach, etc. On my goals, on my goal at that period was I want to win $1 million in 2015. So I worked with my mental coach, what I supposed to do to do that, etc. And at the end of 2015, I won $1 million. I was happy, blah, blah, blah. And then 2016 start, and I was like, I'm going to do the same things for the money. No, I don't care about the money. And I lost my motivation at that period of time.
Right.
And I lost the $1 million I just won, And then I understood that I'm not there for the money. I don't care. It's not changing the way I sleep. It's not changing the way I eat, So I need to find another thing to motivate me. And I just get back to my first love. The first time I used to play poker back in 2006 with my old friends. And it was not for the money, It was just for the love of the game, the love of learning what people think about any situation, And that part, that this social game, it's a social game, and a mind game. And I just focused on that, and just didn't care about the money at any point. And that's with this mindset that I start the main event 2017.
Right.
And I remember just before the main event, I saw a tweet. I don't remember from who. Like, you make a living by what you earn, you make a living by what you take, but you make a life by what you give, And then I retweet that and I said, okay, I'm going to give like 3% of my winnings of the main event to a rec charity.
Right.
Because I wasn't there for the money, And I remember like a friend with me from Paris. He was with me in Las Vegas, and he lost a lot during that period of time, during like in June for the All World Series. And I went back to Paris just before the main event. He was not even playing the main event because he lost like 100K or something.
Right.
And I said, okay, I want to make you live the thing with me. So I'm giving you as well 3% of the main events. I mean, I sold him 1-to-1, like no markup,
Yeah.
So it's like a gift, basically, And I said, I want to give that because I want you to leave the things with me. I was so in another mindset. I will never do that in another year, because I was like for the money or blah, blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
And then I started playing the main event, and I was like a kid. Like a kid, like I remember the day one, I was like with someone from Texas with a big hat, like a girl, and like a old girl, like many young players with the dream in the head. And I just enjoyed the moment, On every day, I enjoyed the moment, and I just live I just leave the things for the thing what I love, you know. And for the things I remember when I came to the final table, you know, at the moment 6 or 7 left, I just realized, I said, Ben, you're just living your dream now, you know, and you're playing for like 8 millions. And I was like, I don't care though about the millions. So no, I was like, it's so fun, you know. I was like looking the person around me, like living the moment, that the dream of our lives, you know. And it was so intense that the money was meaningless, you know, to me. And I just didn't want to lose any moment of the final table. I was so focused just because I didn't want to lose any moments. So I was focused on any tails, any breathing, anything of any prayers, because I wanted to be there, you know.
Right.
And that's the things, you know. And that's how I remember my final table. I was there fully, you know.
That's poetic. It's so poetic, man. Your whole career so far, I mean, it's taking the perfect turns. I hope there's a screenwriter out there somewhere that's listening to this because it's quite a story. So that presence in your game, like the ability to just be fully engrossed in the moment without letting the money sort of, I don't know, tamper with that. Have you been able to cross that over into other areas of your life? Is that something that, you know, you felt like you'd been able to tap into before? Is there a lesson there, or is there a learning for poker players in regards to how you should be playing poker well? You know, is there a takeaway, or is that just a special moment and it was what it was and you went back to how you were after?
Um, like a month before that final table, I just start to meditate, you know, like a month before, and I just start to understand what the purpose of that and how I can feel with that, you know. And it really helped me to put my stress away and just really understand why why I am living, you know, and why what I'm enjoying, you know. And I think that's I meditate always. Always meditate today. You know, I mean, not every day, but sometimes I meditate for a month every day. Sometimes I'm not meditating for like a month. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm really enjoying that, and I think it's a tool that we should teach people even at school, because it helps people to really understand themselves, understand what they love, and be good at what they're doing. You know, and without any fear, you know. And I think the fear it's a big obstacle for poker player, but for all the people around the world, you know, we are all fear to do something new, because it's very hard to accept to fail at something, you know. But at poker, we're failing every day. Every day
It's
we're
a lot
taking
of
at least
failure.
one bad decision, you know.
Yeah.
So we're giving ourselves to learn with this bad decision, you know. So we're doing so much mistakes that we're learning every day. So we don't have to be afraid of failure, because I think that's the best gift, you know, to fail. To have the opportunity to fail, that means you try something new. If you don't fail, that means you just done something you knew already, because you did it well. So that's okay, you know.
That's a great framing on failure, actually. Yeah, that no failure is you're just in your comfort zone always.
Yeah.
It's an interesting way of thinking about it. Yeah. Um, so you signed up with Party Poker as a pro just recently here. What does your poker career look like going forward now? How did that opportunity come about, and what's ahead in the poker world for you?
Um, I took a step back with poker the last year, you know, with the lockdown. I could put my energy with all the series online, all the stuff was what's going on the last year, you know. Like, but I just prefer to took a step back, you know, and put my energy on other stuff. And I'm very excited about the very next future and to be back at the live game, but I'm not sure today if I have the level enough to, to crush the game as I used to
Yeah.
the 2 years before, because I know like every poker player learned a lot during this period of time. I'm aware of that, but I know one thing, I know nothing about this game. The only thing that's true. The only thing I want to know, and I'm exciting about that, it's to understand how player grow during this period. And I'm very excited about going back to this game and see how they play, and see how they're going to react. And I'm going to try to just adapt myself and see if I can again make some make some result with that. I'm not sure about that, but I want to see if I can make it again. Even if I took a step back for a year. I want to. It's a good challenge.
Yes, absolutely. And so what does a schedule look like for you? A very successful high stakes player. It's different than, grinding. It's different than playing for fun. Is it something where you are playing poker when you're on the grind like every day, or are you on it for a couple of weeks and then taking some time off? Like how do you structure not just your day, but the months? How do you look at that?
When I was traveling, like I was only playing poker during my big steps, and just like a week or 2 weeks before the big step, I was just watching like big reviews, big replay of high stake games, poker games, because like the high stakes poker scene is very small. It's like about 30-40 poker players. And poker is not about how you play, it's about how people play, because you're playing against players. So if you want to improve your game, you have to watch their game. So it was mainly what I was doing, just watch people how they play, taking some notes about how they play, some tells maybe I can see, and just to prepare myself. And I was really enjoying this period of time just before like a big step, like doing a lot of sports, trying to meditate a lot, and just be mentally prepared for these big events.
Mm-hmm.
It was like how how I approached the game, before.
Absolutely. And I'll leave you with one more question, for an optimistic question for the world after COVID is over. You've traveled a lot. It says here you trekked a month across Peru and Bolivia. So I'd love to hear, some highlights of that experience. And then advice to all the people listening out there around the world. Where's a spot you've been that you think people really need to check out and go see once we can all travel again?
There is many places to go. I think just the fact to travel, just to move, it's a fact, like a meditated process. Just the fact to walk in a place that you've never been, it's just something new. And doing something new, it's just giving like you so much energy, because we are all kids. And as a kid, they used to do something new every day, because every day you're doing something new. And that's why we miss, because we're doing always the same thing over and over, like when you're grinding, it's always the same process. But you have to, if you can, doing something new every day. It's not possible, of course, every day, but the fact to travel to new places, you see something new, you meet some new people, and that's giving you so much energy. And I've been to Bolivia and I've been to Peru. I mean, the landscape is so different, man, you just bring away, and that's the things, you can go anywhere. And I think the main part is just doing something new.
I like it.
Yeah.
Do something new. That's great. Benjamin, thanks so much for taking the time today. Your story is really amazing. Like, it seems like the timing of these twists and turns happened at just the right moment in a few spots. So it's been so great to hear, and I look forward to catching up with you again in the future.
Sure. Thank you, Jem. Thank you.
Big thanks to Benjamin for taking the time today and having that conversation. Amazing to hear his stories. Thanks so much, man. Now, before I let you all go, we have a competition of the podcast. It's called JS Poker Hero. All you have to do to enter the JS Poker Hero is tweet on Twitter using the hashtag JS Poker Hero with the answer to the skill testing question, okay? Now, the winner of this is going to win what ticket? What ticket should they get? How about a $109 satellite ticket to the $1,000 KO Series main event? That's right. You could answer a skill testing question, get into the main event, win the KO Series main event. The rest is history. We're writing it right now. The question is, the KO Series main event begins on Saturday, January 16th. What is the guarantee? Answer correctly, you could win your ticket. You could win the whole thing. It could be a big portion, that guarantee, going into your own pocket. Maybe, sometimes, it'll happen. That's going to be it for me this week. So happy to be back with the podcast weekly for you all. Drop a subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Make sure you follow the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you're watching this. It really helps out with the numbers so that I can keep doing this and somehow be considered part of my job. It's cool. I get to talk with really successful poker players, and that's it. Sign me up, man. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to be back next week, but until then, we'll see you later.